Hello all. I am happy in starting my second lecture series in the subject transmission and distribution. So transmission and distribution is one of the main core subject of electrical and electronics engineering. So in unit 1, the name of unit 1 is structure of power system. So what we'll be learning in structure of power system? So where the power system is applied, so the power transmission is the large scale movement of electricity at high voltage levels from a power plant to a substation where transmission and distribution happens. So transmission is transferring electricity from one place to another, that is from the power plant to the consumers, and distribution is the transmitted energy will be in the substation, which is distributed to the consumers, where the consumers are of two types, commercial and domestic, and also big industries which needs 11 kV of supply. So the power transmission is large scale movement of electricity at high voltage levels from a power plant to a substation, whereas power distribution is the conversion of voltage electricity at substations to lower voltages that can be distributed and used by the publics and industrial customers. This is the main application of transmission and distribution. So the structure of power system, wow, what a beautiful structure. So as we all know, the power is generated from the power plants like thermal power plant, uh, and Meteor hydropower plant, and solar, wind, all these sources we are used to generate power. The generated electricity has to be transmitted from that generating station to the consumers. So first, what will be done is it will be transferred to the substation, and other will be having the distributed substation from where the power will be distributed to all the consumers. So here it is clearly shown that there is a power station, the transmitted power, there is a distributed substation, and that is supplied to the commercial and industrial consumers and to our homes. This is how the generated electricity is transferred from the generating station to the consumers. So this is the beautiful structure of the power system. See, this is again a clear picture. So generating station is mentioned in the red color, and the transmission is mentioned in the blue color, and the green color indicates the consumers, so primary consumers, secondary consumers, and sub-transmission consumers who consumes more voltage. So the primary consumers consume around 4 kilovolt, and the secondary consumers 120 to 240 voltage. So this is the structure of power system. So the structure of power system is clearly shown in a single line diagram with a generating station and a substation, receiving substation. One is sending end substation and another one is receiving end substation. The generated voltage is 11 kV, 13.8 kV. There is voltage levels in the generating station. That generated voltage will be step up. The step up transformer will be used, where it steps up the 6.6 kV and 11 kV and 13.8 kV to 400 kV voltage, and that we call it as primary transmission. Why it has to be step up is due to losses. We have to step up the voltage based on the distance. And next, the stepped up voltage is received in the receiving substation, and that step up voltage is again reduced to 66 kV, that we call it as secondary transmission again, and coming to the secondary substation where it will be converted into 33 or 11 kV. So from there, some industries will be consuming 11 kV of voltage, which we call it as big consumers, and that 11 kV will be again reduced using a step down transformer, and it will be given to the service mains, from where it will be supplied to the homes like commercial and domestic applications. So we talk about voltage, we have to know the levels of the voltage. So we have six types of voltages: extra low voltage, medium voltage, high voltage, extra high voltage, and ultra high voltage. So what is extra high voltage? It is below 70 volt. Low voltage is up to 1000 volts. Medium voltage is 1000 volt to 35 kilovolt. High voltage is 35 to 230 kilovolt. Extra high voltage is above 230 kilovolt, and ultra high voltage is above 800 kilovolts. So we have six voltage levels, which is very important, so that we can name based on the voltage, whether it is high voltage or low voltage or medium voltage. So we have two types of transmission. One is overhead transmission and another one is underground transmission. So what do you people think about overhead and underground? Which will be best? So overground transmission is the second picture. Overhead transmission is the second picture, whereas underground transmission is the first picture as shown in the figure. So overhead transmission versus underground transmission. So what is the comparison based on the parameters? I have considered some of the parameters like system cost, safety, possibility of expansion, size of the conductor of the same capacity, fault detection, suitability for long distance, prominent line parameter. So what is system cost will be low in overhead, whereas it will be high in underground. And safety, when we consider overhead is less safe compared to underground, because it will not be accessible to the kids or the human beings if it is underground. Possibility of expansion is easy in overhead, but if it is underground we have to dig all the things and we have to rearrange all the materials, so it is difficult. Size of the conductor, same capacity for overhead will be small and underground is large. Fault detection is easy in overhead because it will be visible to our eyes, but in underground we will not be able to find out where the fault is, so it is very difficult. Suitable for long distances overhead, whereas underground is not suitable because we have to dig under the soil. So this is the comparison between overhead transmission and underground transmission. Okay, come now we have come to an end of the session. We'll have an assessment by which of the following systems electric power may be transmitted: overhead system, underground system, or both A and B, or none of the above. So what will be the answer? Is there any guess? Yeah, the option is C. So both ways the electric power can be transmitted, either it may be overhead or underground system. We will have another question. Which are the conductors which connect the consumer terminals to the distribution? So for distribution, it is through the service mains. The service mains will be the answer. So we will have a short recap. So in this session, I have discussed about transmission and distribution, and it is one of the core subject of triple E student, transmission and distribution. So what we are going to transmit and what we are going to distribute. So without electricity, nothing is possible in our world now. So we have to generate electricity, transmit from one place to another, and that transmitted energy has to be given to the consumers. So will be industry people will be one of the consumer, commercial purpose and industrial purpose and domestic purpose. So then I had discussed about the structure of the power system, and about so after the structure of power system we have learnt about the types of transmission and a comparison between the overhead and the underground transmission. I guess you have gained some knowledge with this video. Thank you. Once again, we will see within another video.